Welcome to our YouTube channel Mathematical Pathshala. In this lecture, we are going to discuss the solution of ring theory of CSR NET December 2019. The paper was held on 15 December. In that session, there were two examinations. One was on 15 December and another one was on 27 December. So we will be discussing the paper of December 15, 2019 session. In this session, they have asked total 5 questions and all questions are in part C. That is, all questions are of marks 4.75. So the total weightage is 23.75. एंड क्वेश्चन पेपर बहुत डायरेक्ट फॉरवर्ड है. अगर आप पढ़ करके आए हो तो 5 क्वेश्चन को करने में हार्डली 10 मिनट लगने चाहिए, इससे ज़्यादा टाइम नहीं लगना चाहिए. सो लेट अस स्टार्ट द प्रॉब्लम्स. क्वेश्चन नंबर 1. लेट fx belongs to zx be a monic polynomial. Let fx be inside zx and this f is a monic polynomial. That is, the leading coefficient is 1, or you can say the coefficient of highest degree term is 1. And we know that if fx is monic plus fx is inside zx, that means this is a polynomial whose coefficient are coming from z and it is a monic polynomial, then fx is irreducible over q if and only if irreducible over z. That we know that. This is because of monic polynomial. If your polynomial is not monic, you cannot say this thing. Or you can use the Gauss lemma. Gauss lemma says if you have any integer valued polynomial, if it is reducible over q, then it becomes reducible over z. But when it is monic, then this condition becomes if and only if. You can use the negation part. Fx is reducible over z if and only if reducible over q. That you can also use, provided your polynomial should be monic. So option A, if fx is irreducible in zx, then it is irreducible in qx. True. Option A is correct. Option B, if fx is irreducible in q, then it is irreducible in z. True, according to this statement. Option C, if fx is reducible in zx, then it has a real root. जरूरी अगर कोई polynomial reducible है over z, then it has a real root and your polynomial should be monic. Can you see this one? X square plus 1, x square plus 2. If you compute the whole polynomial, the coefficient of x power 4 will be 1. Here you will be having only the coefficient of x square and constant term. If you find the coefficient of x square, you are going to get 2x square plus x square plus 3x square and constant term will be 2. So this polynomial is a member of zx. It is monic. It can be expressed in this form. So this is reducible over z because this is over z, this is over z. So this is reducible over z, but it does not have any real root. यहाँ से अगर आप रूट फाइंड करोगे तो प्लस माइनस आयोटा, यहाँ से फाइंड करोगे तो प्लस माइनस के आयोटा रूट 2. So it does not have any real root, but it is reducible over z. So option C false. Option D, if fx has a real root, then it is reducible in zx. ज़रूरी है अगर उसके पास कोई भी रियल रूट है तो वो रिड्यूसिबल हो जाएगा z. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, इफ यू चूज दिस x स्क्वायर माइनस 2 पोलिनोमियल, दिस इज इंटीजर वैल्यूड, दिस इज मोनिक पोलिनोमियल बिकॉज द लीडिंग कोएफिशिएंट इज 1, बट यू कैन नॉट रिड्यूस ओवर z and it has a real root. Root 2 and minus root 2 both are roots. So option D is false. So A and B both are correct. So this one is easy problem. क्वेश्चन नंबर 2 इज अ रिपीटेड क्वेश्चन. इस टाइप की प्रॉब्लम्स नेट वाले पहले पूछ चुके हैं. फेवरेट क्वेश्चन कह सकते हो आप नेट का. लेट C01 बी द रिंग ऑफ रियल वैल्यूड कॉन्टिन्यूस फंक्शन ऑन 01. सो दिस C01 is defined as the collection of all functions which are defined from close 01 to R and functions are continuous. They have defined a set A. It is defined as collection of all functions from C01 such that it is getting vanished at point 1 by 4 as well as at point 3 by 4. Then which of the following statements are true? Option A is an ideal in C01 but is not a prime ideal. See, to verify ideal, this is an easy option for you. You can easily verify this forms an ideal. अगर आप इसकी सब रिंग चेक करोगे तो सब रिंग बनेगा. एंड ये जो रिंग है इसका जो सेकंड बाइनरी ऑपरेशन होता है वो मल्टीप्लिकेशन ऑफ फंक्शंस होता है। तो अगर आप मल्टीप्लिकेशन ऑफ फंक्शंस यहाँ पर यूज़ करोगे फॉर शोइंग लेफ्ट आइडल और राइट आइडल, बिकॉज इट इज़ कॉम्यूटेटिव, तो आपको लेफ्ट या राइट में से कोई भी एक वेरीफाई करना है। तो आप लेफ्ट चेक करोगे, एक मेंबर यहाँ का लोगे, एक मेंबर यहाँ का लोगे, देन देखोगे क्या वो 1/4 और 3/4 पर वैनिश हो रहा है, डेफिनेटली वैनिश होगा, क्योंकि यहाँ वाला फंक्शन वैनिश हो रहा है, तो वो चाहे आप उसके यहाँ पर किसी भी फंक्शन से मल्टीप्लाई करो वो हमेशा वैनिश हो जाएगा। सो दिस विल फॉर्म एन आइडियल। व्हाट कैन यू से अबाउट द प्राइम आइडियल? लेट मी राइट द डेफिनेशन ऑफ प्राइम आइडियल. Let P be an ideal of R where R is a ring and P is not equal to R. So first your ideal should be proper ideal. You cannot choose improper ideal in case of prime ideal. So your ideal should be proper ideal. This P is called prime ideal whenever the product AB belongs to P. This should imply either A is inside P or B is inside P. Can you construct such AB element which is inside P but neither A is inside P or nor B inside P? Your A is the collection of all those functions which are getting vanished at point 1/4 as well as at point 3/4. So let me construct x minus 1/4. It is a polynomial, it is continuous, it is member of C01. X minus 3/4, it is again a polynomial, it is continuous. What about this product? This product will be vanishing at point 1/4 because of this polynomial and will be vanishing at point 3/4 because of this polynomial. So this is a member of your A and you can verify this is clearly this A is a proper ideal. अगर आप कोई भी नॉन जीरो कांस्टेंट फंक्शन लोगे वो इसका मेंबर नहीं होगा. So this is a proper ideal. So you can check for prime ideal. This member is inside A but neither this inside A nor this inside A because this will be vanishing at point 1/4 only, not at 3/4. And same argument for this will be vanishing at 3/4 but not at 1/4. So this is neither inside A this nor inside A, hence this A is not a prime ideal. So this is not prime ideal. So the criteria for not prime ideal, you have to find AB inside P such that neither A is inside P nor B is inside P. So this is the creation. And one more thing you can use in a commutative ring with the unity, if I is a maximal ideal in your ring R, this implies your I is prime ideal in R. If I is not prime ideal, if you are using negation statement, if I is not prime ideal, your I is not maximal. So negation says in a CRU, if I is not prime, this implies I is not maximal. And clearly this C01 is a commutative ring with unity because your R is a commutative ring with unity. So this is a CRU. In a CRU, if I is not a prime, I is not maximal. So this ideal is a not prime, hence not maximal. And there are other criteria. To show this is not maximal, you have to find a proper ideal of C01 which contains A properly. So let me define B, collection of all functions from C01 such that which are getting vanished at point 1/4 only. So this is a proper ideal of this. This B will contain A properly. So A cannot be maximal. So this is another criteria. So you can use either case you want. Option A is an ideal in C01 but not a prime ideal. A is correct. Option B, A is a prime ideal, false. A is maximal ideal, false. A is prime in C01 but not maximal, false. So option A is the only correct. So this question is again of 4.75 marks. Question number 3. For a given integer k, which of the following statements are false? They are asking false, not true. So suppose k is some integer Option A, if K mod 72 is a unit in Z72, this implies K mod 9 is a unit in Z9. How to find the unit in Zn? We know that the units of Zn is actually nothing but your UN group. तो आपके पास इसकी यूनिट्स वो होती हैं, वो सारे नेचुरल नंबर और वो सारे नेचुरल नंबर Zn के जो n से रिलेटिवली प्राइम हो. So how many units are there of Zn? There are exactly phi of n units of Zn are there, and phi n represent the Euler-Taussian function. That is the collection of all natural number which are less than or equal to n and relatively prime to n. So if you want to find the cardinality of u of Zn, the units of Zn, which is exactly the same as Euler-Taussian function, the number of less than or equal to number of natural number which are less than or equal to n and relatively prime to n. So you can write in this format also. This phi n denotes the और यू कैन राइट इंटीजर ऑल्सो, क्योंकि वो डिवीजन में काउंट हो जाते हैं. दोज आर लेस देन और इक्वल टू n, और लेट मी राइट फॉर नेचुरल नंबर, एंड m एंड n आर रिलेटिवली प्राइम. अगर आप कोई लार्जर नंबर भी लोगे देन उसके पास मॉडुलो ऑपरेटर लगाओगे तो वो अपने आप ही रिड्यूस हो जाएगा. तो अब यहाँ पर z लिखो या नेचुरल नंबर लिखो, कोई मैटर नहीं करेगा, क्योंकि आप जो एलिमेंट लोगे वो Zn के अंदर से ही लोगे. सो फॉर अ मोर स्ट्रॉन्ग कंडीशन यू शुड राइट Zn, क्योंकि जो भी इसके यूनिट्स होंगी वो हमेशा Zn का ही मेंबर होंगी. सो दिस इज द डेफिनेशन ऑफ phi n फॉर Zn केस, बट इन जनरल केस यू हैव टू राइट इन अ नेचुरल फॉर्म. In general, the phi n is defined as collection of all natural numbers such that which are less than or equal to n and relatively prime to. This is for GCD. The greatest common divisor of m and n is 1. Now, if k mod 72 is a unit in 72, that is, this k is a unit element of 72. If k is bigger than 72, you are dividing with 72 and writing the remainder term. So if k is a unit in Z72, that means the GCD of k and 72 will be 1. Then k mod 9 is a unit in Z9. See, इस k का GCD 72 के साथ 1 है, यानी कि k कभी भी 9 का 3 का फैक्टर कंटेन नहीं करेगा, क्योंकि 72 में जो फैक्टर है, सॉरी, जो Z9 में फैक्टर है वो ऑलरेडी 72 में अवेलेबल है, क्योंकि ये 9 72 को डिवाइड करता है. और यहाँ पर फैक्टर कौन कौन से 1, 3 एंड 9, ये सारे के सारे यहाँ पर अवेलेबल है. तो अगर इसका लार्जर के साथ GCD 1 आ रहा है तो स्मॉलर के साथ हमेशा 1 आएगा. सो इफ दिस k mod 72 इज अ यूनिट इन Z72, इट हैज़ टू बी यूनिट इन Z9 because all the factorization of 9 are available here. So if GCD with 72 is 1, it cannot be other than 1 inside Z9. So this is a true option, not the correct one, this is the true. Same argument for B. If k mod 72 is a unit in Z72, then k mod 8 is a unit inside Z8. Again, the all factors of 8 are available in 72 because 8 divides 72. So same argument for this. If k mod 72 is a unit inside Z72, it has to be unit inside Z8. So option B is again true option. Option C. If k mod 8 is a unit in Z8, then k mod 72 is a unit in Z72. अगर आप k mod 8 is a unit in Z8, यानी कि अगर कोई Z8 के अंदर यूनिट है तो क्या ज़रूरी है 72 के अंदर भी यूनिट होगा, यानी कि उसका GCD 8 के साथ 1 है, क्या ज़रूरी है 72 के साथ 1 होगा? 72 के पास अदर फैक्टर भी अवेलेबल है. कैन यू गिव मी सम एग्जाम्पल? सी, इफ़ यू चूज 11 एंड ऑपरेट mod 8, 11 mod 8 is going to be 3. 3 is relatively prime to 8, so 3, okay, but this 11 will again be a unit again inside Z72. So I have to choose example cleverly. I have to choose some example in such a way which are unit in Z8 but not unit in Z72. So let me see the factor of 72. It will be 9 into 8, and from here I will be getting the prime factorization, or say 1 or 3 square into 2 cube. So somehow I have to create an element whose power of 3 or divisible by 3. So मैं जो भी एलिमेंट लूँ वो 72 के साथ उसका GCD पहली बात 1 नहीं होना चाहिए. Suppose I choose 9 mod 8, it is going to be 1. 1 is a unit by definition because it is relatively prime to 8. So this is a unit in Z8, but this 9 is not a unit inside Z72 because the GCD of 9 and 72 is not 1. So option C is a false option. And can you use the same criteria for the option D? Option D is saying if K mod 9 is a unit in Z9, then K mod 72 is a unit in Z72. Can you construct some example? See, if you construct this 14 mod 9. See, if you divide 14 with 9, you are going to get the remainder term is 5, and 5 is relatively prime to 9. So this term is a 5, and 5 is a unit in Z9. But this 14 is not a unit in 72 because the GCD will be at least 2, because there is a factor of 2 and there is a factor of 2 inside 14 also. So this 14 is neither a unit, is not a unit inside Z72. So option D is again false with same argument, and they are asking the false. So option C and option D has to be false, has to be correct. This one was again easy question. Question number 4 is again direct forward. If fx be the polynomial ring in one variable over a field f, then which of the following is are true? Let me write some note. R is a field if and only if Rx is a principal ideal domain, that is whose ideal is an integral domain whose every ideal is generated by some single element, or you can say an integral domain whose every ideal is a principal ideal, and principal ideal means an ideal which is generated by some single element. So this result I have proved in my theory lecture, so you can watch there. If R is a field if and only if Rx is a PID, if I use this statement, option A, or let me write some more statement. Every field is an Euclidean domain, that means you are able to define some Euclidean norm on that structure. Every Euclidean domain is a PID, that I have again proved in my theory lecture. Every ideal of an Euclidean domain is a principal ideal, hence every Euclidean domain is a principal ideal domain. And I have also proved every principal ideal domain is a unique factorization domain, and every unique factorization domain is an integral domain. Sometimes they ask this chain directly. This is the inclusion chain. Now option A, fx is a UFD. See, they have defined this f is a field, so by f is a field, fx is going to be PID, and every PID is a UFD. So option A is correct. F is a field, hence fx is a PID. Option B is correct. Option C, fx is an Euclidean domain. What can you say for this? See, if R is a field, this implies R is this Rx is an Euclidean domain. Why this? Whenever R is a field and Rx is an Euclidean domain, you can always define an Euclidean norm on this structure. Say n, define from Rx to natural number union 0. This R is a field. I am defining n of, here I will take some polynomial for a domain. So this will send npx, this will send px to degree of px. You can verify under this norm, this will satisfy all the points of Euclidean domain. So this is an Euclidean norm on Rx where R is a field, but this you cannot define if you are not in a field. You cannot define on Zx. So this you can define only on field. So this Rx is an Euclidean domain under this norm. So if you are having R is a field, then Rx is always an Euclidean domain. Option C is correct. So this is again a statement based, and these all the statement I have proved in my theory lecture. Option D, Fx is a PID but not an Euclidean domain. But this Fx is on Euclidean domain, that by option C. So option D cannot be true. So option A, B and C are correct. क्वेश्चन नंबर 5 की वजह से इनकी आंसर की 2 बार चेंज हुई थी. यहाँ पर लोग स्टेटमेंट याद करके जाते हैं और स्टेटमेंट अच्छे से याद करके नहीं जाते. याद करेंगे बट अच्छे से याद नहीं करके जाते. अभी मैं आपको बताऊंगा क्यों. इसके आंसर की 2 बार आई थी. लेट आई बी एन आइडियल ऑफ जेड, देन विच ऑफ द फॉलोइंग आर ट्रू. आई बी एन आइडियल ऑफ जेड. I know that whenever my group with first binary operation is a cyclic group, then every subgroup becomes an ideal. So how many subgroups this group has? Infinitely many, and all the subgroups are of the form mz. So each mz becomes an ideal because this z plus is a cyclic group. So that the statement you should know. So each mz is an ideal of z where m is varying over z. For each m, this mz is an ideal. Option A, I is a principal ideal. See, if I say this is a principal ideal domain, then I am done, because see, I am defining of n function from z to n union 0, and you can easily verify each ideal of this form. So I can say each ideal is generated by m. So from here you can also observe each ideal is a principal ideal. But let me give you another argument. You are defining a function n from z to n union 0. This n is sending a to, here your element may be negative, but here your codomain is a non-negative integer. So you can send it to absolute value of a, that is the modulus of a. So under this function, this is an Euclidean norm. And once it is Euclidean norm, it satisfies all the hypotheses of Euclidean domain. So this Z is an Euclidean domain, and every Euclidean domain is a principal ideal domain. So by this argument you can also say this Z is a principal ideal domain, and in a principal ideal domain every ideal is generated by some single element. So I must be principal ideal. Option A is correct. Option B, I is a prime ideal of Z, where I be any arbitrary ideal. Can you say every ideal of Z is a prime ideal? If you choose 4Z, this is an ideal. You can see this 2 into 2 belongs to 4Z. This 4Z is a proper ideal, but neither this 2 inside 4Z nor this 2 inside 4Z. Hence this 4Z is not a prime ideal. Or you can see in this way also, Z by 4Z is isomorphic to Z4. This ideal is a prime ideal if and only this is without zero divisor, but it has zero divisor, it has to be not prime ideal. So you can see in this way also. This is by definition, this is by application. So option B false. Option C, if I is a prime ideal of Z, then I is a maximal ideal in Z. लोग याद करके जाते हैं statement in a PID every prime ideal becomes maximal, every maximal becomes prime, but that statement is false. Every non-zero prime ideal becomes maximal, and every maximal ideal is prime. That is the correct statement. So let me write the statement for you. In a PID, every non-zero prime ideal is maximal, and conversely. That is, in a PID, every maximal ideal is a prime ideal, and obviously that ideal will be a non-zero ideal, because in a PID there always exists a non-zero maximal ideal. So that also I have proved in my theory lectures. So every non-zero prime ideal is a maximal, and if you are having any maximal ideal, that is going to be a non-zero prime ideal definitely in a PID. If you are not in a PID, you cannot say anything. तो जो लोग याद करके जाते हैं वो इसको भूल जाते हैं. This zero ideal is contained in 2z ideal, and it is contained in properly, and 2z is contained inside z properly. And in an integral domain, every zero ideal becomes the prime ideal. The zero is a prime ideal. You can see whenever you are writing 0 inside z, or you are writing AB inside 0, either A has to be 0 or B has to be 0, because your z is an integral domain. So either A is 0 or B is 0. If A is 0, then it will be inside 0. If B is 0, B will be inside 0. So by definition, this zero ideal has to be prime ideal. So इसकी वजह से ये दो बार इसके आंसर की चेंज हुई थी. Option C false, because if I is a prime, need not to be maximal, you can choose 0. They have not mentioned this I is a non-zero ideal. Option D, if I is a maximal ideal in Z, then I is a prime ideal of Z. This is correct. You can use this explanation. If R is a CRU, that is a commutative ring with a unity, and I be an ideal of R, this is notation for ideal. R by I is maximal if and only if R by I is a field. Sorry, this I is maximal if and only if R by I is a field. See, if I is a maximal ideal, then R by I is a field, and once R by I is a field, it will be without zero divisor, and once it will be without zero divisor, this I has to be prime. I know that R by I or I is prime if and only if R by I is without zero divisor. See, here your R need not to be commutative ring with unity, but here your R should be CRU. If you are losing commutativity or you are losing unity element, this result is not true. But this result is true whenever you are having any general ring. So if I is maximal, R by I is a field, and once R by I is a field, so R by I will be without zero divisor, and once it is without zero divisor, your I is a prime ideal. So by using this explanation, this I, if I is a maximal, then it is a prime ideal of Z. So option D is also true. And there are other explanation also you can use. You can use this criteria. All the ideals of this form MZ. So you can see Z by MZ is isomorphic to Zm. So this is maximal if and only if it is of field. It is a field if and only if M is a prime. And whenever M is a prime, Zp will be without zero divisor. Hence your Pz will be prime ideal. So you can use this criteria also. So I hope आपको problem समझ में आई होंगी. But still, if you have any doubt, you can ask in the comment section. You can do WhatsApp me also. If you have any suggestion for us, you are always welcome. Thanks for watching this solution series.